Now, let me start off by saying this. Once again, I like Teofimo. I think he's a good fighter, not a great fighter. But I get tired of the excuses. He fights down to the level of his opponents. According to Mike Commager, Steve Claggett was a hand-picked opponent. He had a choice to fight Kenny Sims, Ray Morataya, Elvis Rodriguez, and he picked Steve Claggett. He picked the guy with 7 losses, which to me telling me that it was a cherry pick. It was a showcase fight. Teofimo was planning to knock this guy out and make a statement, but it didn't happen. This guy was tougher than Teofimo thought he was. Either that or Teofimo's punching power is not what it was at 135. But you know what? Both things can be true. Claggett be tougher than what he thought he was, and Teofimo is not the puncher he was at 135. But make no mistake, Teofimo went in the ring and thought he was going to get a knockout Saturday night. He did not think he was going to leave the ring all puffy and battered. So for all those people that use that lame, tired excuse that Teofimo fights to the level of his competition, well, it seems apparently he picked the level of his competition. Like I said, he could have had Morataya, Sims, and Rodriguez, who were a higher level of competition than Steve Claggett. But he picked what he thought was a cherry with 7 losses to have a statement fight for Crawford and Pitbull. It didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's down to his excellency. I think the only person that can make that fight is his excellency because of what Canelo wants for that fight. So you're going to have to pay up for it, and the only way that's going to pay the money that Sal wants for that fight.
Eddie Hearn speaking facts. But it's not just the Terence Crawford fight. It's a lot of fights that are made because of Prince Turki Sheikh. Now, you got some wacky ones out there that I don't agree with, like Gervonta against Inoue. I'm not really digging that fight. I do like the Bivol and Benavidez fight if it could happen, or better be if, but it seems very unlikely those fights will happen. Benavidez did not like 175. He didn't feel like he was a Mexican monster. So he's moving back down to 168 to chase Canelo once again. And speaking of Benavidez and Canelo, I think the only guy that can make that fight right now, if you look at things, is Prince Turki Sheikh because he has the capital. When you look at Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum, the PBC, no one's going to pay Canelo what he wants for the Benavidez fight. That's why when Eddie Hearn was speaking on Crawford, he's on target. Because Canelo was heavily against the Crawford fight, and the Prince Turki wanted to set this up for a while, but Canelo's heavily against the fight. But Canelo's change coming around the corner. He's realizing there's 2 big fights for him right now. There's Benavidez and the Terence Crawford fight. There's really nothing else there out there as far as big money fights for him. And none of the other promoters are willing to pay him what he wants or meet his price tag. But Prince Turki Sheikh is willing to meet his price tag. You may not agree with all the matchups he's talking about, but he has the capital to make the big fights we want to see. And even though Crawford and Canelo is not me and Nick Harmer's favorite, we are only 2 people. Because the fact is, Crawford and Canelo is one of the biggest fights out there that people want to see. So I do agree with Eddie Hearn, but Prince Turki Sheikh is responsible for a lot of big fights. He will be responsible for a lot of big fights in the future, not just Terence Crawford and Canelo. But Hearn is right. If Prince Turki Sheikh is not in the picture, Terence Crawford and Canelo would just be a fantasy fight, not something that can really happen. Anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. Jay Beezy, I'm gone.